Welcome to another edition of Don Hammond's Arlington Weekly News. Once again, I'm doing a variety of different character voices because it's almost Christmas, which is really no excuse, but there you are. Here's the lineup for this week. The news, of course, Community Bulletin Board, and 55 Plus News. Also, in lieu of a town hall meeting, a fresh installment of Out and About, and an appearance by Amy Sue Huheey. That's the show. Now here's the social media reminder. You can watch us on YouTube at Arlington Weekly News and the number 1, also on Facebook, and you can listen on the radio at WERA 96.7 FM. Now, on to the news.
Once again, we have some very local news. There is still time to celebrate 5 years of community radio in Arlington. It was 5 years ago that Arlington Independent Media launched WERA 96.7 FM with the belief that our friends and neighbors in Arlington deserved their own radio station. We felt, and still feel, that commercial radio stations weren't doing enough to cover the events, people, stories, and culture that define one of the most diverse and innovative communities in the country. We believe that WERA producers have filled that void with thousands of hours of entertaining, innovative, and uniquely local programs that can't be created anywhere else. WERA is still holding its Winter Fund Drive, so please help us celebrate our 5th birthday by making a tax-deductible gift that will help support local voices in your community for years to come. The drive will run through December 19th. However, later donations will be happily accepted. Just go to WERA FM and click the donate button in the upper right-hand corner. It only takes a minute, but it will allow us to continue to bring distinctively local voices to the airwaves. We simply can't do it without your support. Thank you. We have another COVID-19 update. As of Sunday evening, December 13th, reports show that the number of confirmed COVID-19 cases in Arlington had reached 7,395. Regular viewers and listeners will note the continuing increase in our reported case numbers. Because COVID-19 cases, positive tests, and hospitalizations have continued to rise in Virginia, Governor Ralph Northam announced new, targeted measures to slow the spread of the virus. Virginians should stay at home from 12 midnight to 5 a.m., wear masks in indoor and outdoor settings, and limit social gatherings to 10 people. The order went into effect at 12:01 a.m. on Monday, December 14th. Not everyone needs to be tested. If you do get tested, you should self-quarantine or isolate at home pending test results and follow the advice of your health care provider or a public health professional. Considerations for who should get tested are based on updated guidance from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. They include people who have symptoms of COVID-19, people who have had close contact within 6 feet for a total of 15 minutes or more with someone with confirmed COVID-19, people who have taken part in activities that put them at higher risk for COVID-19 because they cannot socially distance as needed, such as travel, attending large social or mass gatherings, or being in crowded indoor settings, and people who have been asked or referred to get testing by their health care provider, local or state health department. Next up, we had promised an update on state grants from Virginia that the county board was considering. So far, we have not been able to determine whether or not the county board chose to accept the $660,000 grant offered by the state of Virginia. There has been no announcement, and the town hall meeting that would normally have been held on December 11th did not take place. Meanwhile, the county board has adopted an update to the Green Building Incentive Policy for site plan projects that strengthens Arlington's commitment to sustainability and carbon neutrality. The policy was first adopted in 1999 and last updated in 2014. It is the county's main tool for encouraging the private sector to voluntarily reduce energy use and greenhouse gas emissions in new projects. The goal is to help achieve Arlington's long-term carbon emission goals. It offers bonus density in exchange for meeting specific energy and environmental criteria. According to Arlington County Board Chair Libby Garvey, and we quote, "By raising the bar on green building incentives for site plan developments, Arlington is reaffirming our commitment to our goal of becoming carbon neutral by 2050. With buildings generating about 58% of our greenhouse gas emissions, we need to encourage builders to reach for a higher standard of energy efficiency. The standards in this updated project are ambitious, but achievable. We hope that many developers will choose to participate." The board voted 4-0 to approve the new policy. Board member Katie Crystal, who is on medical leave, was not present. Perhaps the most significant changes are as follows. First, requiring the achievement of LEED Gold certification, or Earthcraft Gold, for multifamily project certification as the minimum to receive bonus density in site plan projects, raising the baseline from the previous LEED Silver. Second, new prerequisites for participation, including the use of renewable energy, meeting specific energy efficiency criteria, supplying electric vehicle charging stations, post-occupancy energy performance, and community sustainability criteria, including social equity and bird protection features. That's the news. Now it's time for Community Bulletin Board, or CBB.
Hi, and welcome to CBB. Here's an event for kids ages 2 to 10. Come enjoy a story with one of our naturalists, along with the chance to meet a live animal. For information, call 703-228-6535. You'll need to register children and adults because children must be accompanied by a registered adult. Register online or call 703-228-4747 and mention activity number 622911-V. That's on Wednesday, December 23rd from 10 o'clock to 10:30 a.m. at Long Branch Nature Center at Glen Carlin Park, 625 South Carlin Springs Road. Next up, we have another kid-friendly event. It's called Cardboard Reindeer Craft. You can meet on Facebook, where Ms. Lizzie will guide you step by step through a cardboard reindeer craft. You can make this with your family as you celebrate the holidays together. You can get a printable reindeer template by going online to the article on the Parks and Recreation website or draw your own, but it looks like this. Suggested project supplies include recycled cardboard, 9 inches by 6 inches, some acrylic paint, hopefully in reindeer colors, some glue, a pair of scissors, and there are optional decorations like a ribbon, a bell, and pom-poms. That's coming up on Thursday, December 24th from 3 o'clock to 3:15 p.m. It's a virtual event and part of the Rec at Home program. Well, It's a kid-centered week, and we have another program geared for ages 3 to 5. It's a Facebook Live reading of The Mitten by Jan Brett. No registration required. Just visit Long Branch's Facebook page to tune in. Again, registration is not required. For details, you can call Jerron Winters at 703-228-6535. That's on Thursday, December 24th, from 7 o'clock to 7:30 p.m. Maybe it'll be a good early bedtime story. Finally, here's an event for teens ages 12 to 17. It's called Fire Building for Teens. Interested in some basic survival skills and curious about campfires? You can get some practice starting, feeding, and putting out campfires safely. Bring your own s'more supplies, and you can roast a few marshmallows in the process. You'll need to register children and adults because children must be accompanied by a registered adult. After all, fire is fire. For information, call 703-228-3403. You can register online or call 703-228-4747, and that's activity number 622831-A. That's on Sunday, December 27th, from 1 o'clock to 2 o'clock p.m. at Gulf Branch Nature Center and Park, 3608 North Military Road. Now it's time for 55 Plus News.
Howdy, and welcome to 55 Plus News. Well, what with the holidays, there's not a whole lot planned. We'd like to give you enough time to plan, especially when there's a repeat broadcast, so December 23rd is about as close as we can cut it. Anyway, there is an event planned for the 23rd. It's another 55 plus walk. You know, a chance to stay active with friendly walking companions. They say it may be canceled for inclement weather. This time, the location is listed as Del Rey. You can register online or call Parks and Recreation at 703-228-4747, and that's activity number 912201-06. And it's on Wednesday, December 23rd, from 9 o'clock to 10 o'clock a.m. Now, in case you didn't know, the Del Rey neighborhood is located just south of West Glebe Road, except for the eastern part which borders on East Glebe Road. It's actually in Alexandria, so you may want to call Parks and Recreation for the exact meetup location. Next up, we got something called Virtual Verse. Arlingtonians are invited to view visual verse on display at the Shirlington branch of the Arlington Public Library. The nation's 23rd Poet Laureate, Joy Harjo, joins Arlington Poet Laureate Holly Karapetkova and 2 other regional poets laureate whose poems will be projected onto large, highly visible edifices, that's buildings, as part of visual verse. Their work will be brought to life by the noted artist Robin Bell. Using the latest projection technology, visual verse brings a diverse array of poets literally into the public square. Poetry is an art form found in all cultures, languages, and countries. As a part of their ongoing response to COVID-19, Arlington Arts strives to foster community connection to arts and culture using delivery models that are safe at a time when traditional gatherings are not possible. Arlington Poet Laureate Holly Karapetkova says, "We are excited to bring poetry directly to the Arlington community during this unprecedented time. 2020 has been a challenging year in so many ways, and we hope that visual verse could provide words of beauty, hope, and solace for the people in our community and beyond. That was nice of her to say. Drivers and pedestrians will be inspired by the towering words of the four poets: United States Poet Laureate Joy Harjo, Virginia Poet Laureate Luisa A. Igloria, 2020 DC Youth Poet Laureate Marjan Naderi, and of course, Arlington County's Poet Laureate Holly Karapetkova. They keep telling me the names so I can practice. This allows the public to partake of a shared literary experience in a safe, socially distanced manner. That's on Wednesday, December 23rd from 6 o'clock to 9 o'clock p.m. at the Shirlington Library, 4200 Campbell Avenue. And note, this is actually an outdoor event. Next up, well, I checked the entire 55 Plus guide and the library website, and things go kind of quiet after the 23rd until about the 28th. However, then you can start the week off with a bang by participating in the Monday morning coffee meetup. Maybe it's more of a jolt than a bang. Anyway, it's a chance to catch up online with your neighbors and maybe share what you got or didn't get for the holidays. Register online or call 703-228-4747 and mention activity number 912801-6. That's on Monday, December 28th from 10 o'clock to 11 o'clock a.m. You might even be on your second cup by then. Next up, the day after that is an event called Yarn Creations. No, it's not about making up some story about where you went or who you were with on Christmas Eve. Frankly, I'd rather not know. This is about actual knitting or crocheting in the company of others, at least as much as you can be in a virtual setting. But heck, it's winter. We could all use a few more warm things. Register online or call 703-228-4747, activity number 912703-5. That's on Tuesday, December 29th from 1 o'clock to 2:30 p.m. Well, that's about enough 55 plus news. Since we didn't have a town hall, let's kick off with some out and about.
This installment of Out and About might be called Trail Features Open Up, Buildings Come Down. Considering that even early December is still technically the fall season, Arlington County managed to make good on some of their trail and park reopenings. The Custis Trail underpass at Interstate 66 was finally opened with a few notable, if mostly cosmetic-looking, changes. Going west toward the underpass, the first visible change was a new roundabout sign. Looking down to the pavement, there is still a leftover "Stop Ahead" message from the earlier days. That was when cyclists were rather naively expected to stop at the T intersection just beyond the bridge. But a little farther on, there is a freshly painted "Yield" message on the pavement, and then a surprisingly small "Yield" sign at the opening of the far end of the underpass. The recently installed roundabout is plainly visible to cyclists before the "Yield" sign comes into focus. The stated reason for the roundabout was because the intersection was considered hazardous, but that was only due to the refusal of many cyclists to obey the older traffic signs. It might be helpful if the roundabout was made somewhat more conspicuous. Perhaps an interesting color scheme would help. Or perhaps a narrow statue that would catch the eye without blocking the view of foot and cycle traffic. The only thing to be avoided would be large growing plants that do obstruct the view. Elsewhere, there was considerable visible appreciation of the opening of the expanded section of the Benjamin Banneker Playground. At long last, the "Welcome" sign was no longer contradicted by a "Do not enter" sign. One quibble: the water fountain still doesn't work. Another observation about this and some other Arlington parks: the absence of restroom facilities. It would seem that parks, especially those that cater to younger children, would have facilities for washing up and restroom relief. As it is, parents must be ready to take their child home on short notice to take care of these necessary health functions. Still, there were lots of interesting pieces of equipment, as well as a welcome set of benches and a shelter for the rest of us. Meanwhile, the Roslyn Holiday Inn was imploded. It makes for interesting video, but really doesn't work on radio. And now, here is Amy Sue Huheey performing in her role as Mrs. Claus.
I've been noticing some things, me and, the elves back at the North Pole, mind you. We've been noticing that, well, as you know, Craig, gifts can be expensive.
Just
and
a little.
that men are messy. Even your dear Mr. Claus is messy.
No, really?
He is. So I have brought along some things tonight, well, to help all the women folks. So even though you're a nice, handsome man there, Mr. Craig,
Thank you, Mrs. Claus.
you can help us out tonight. So this is things that's totally inexpensive that you can, I think the word you yuppies like to use is repurpose,
That's it.
refurbish. Is that the buzzword you guys like to use, I believe? So, yes.
Dual use technology.
There you go. Whatever he just said. I don't know. All right. So let's get down to business. Well, first of all, you got your beer bottles.
Yay.
Which, of course, you find.
Anything in that?
I hope you don't indulge too much.
Anything in it? Or it
No,
looks like
there's
it's empty.
nothing in it.
Okay, too bad.
I cleaned that out from Mr. Santa Claus. Because sometimes he gets a little guggly and bubbly. So we got to, could be why he's a little jiggly and wiggly, too. But you can repurpose these, and you can make them into lovely toilet paper cozies. These fit right on there. You can just sit them right by your toilet. Now, if you wanted to make them Christmassy, you could just put a Christmas tree skirt right on around there. It'd be lovely, don't you think?
I've never seen that before. That's
There
pretty
you go.
handy.
Something
like it.
interesting for you, okay? So there's your toilet covers there. Now, also, something I think there's a site called, I don't know, Pinterest or something that you yuppies also like to use. And what you do with Pinterest that I have noticed, and men like to leave their peanut shells lying all over the floor. I don't know why. So, you take these peanuts and you're going to paint them white, okay? So I'll give you some white peanuts.
White peanuts.
And you can take these white peanuts.
I'm dreaming of a white.
Yes, so what you're going to be busy doing over there is you're going to draw me a snowman on that peanut. Can you handle that?
I'll try.
You can do that.
A snowman on the peanut.
Yes, so you're going to
It's
try
got to
it
be a
to-
little snowman.
A little, itty
Just a
bitty
little
snowman,
snowman.
yes.
Okay.
And then you can make it into lovely little ornaments, or you can sit it around, or hey,
Do I
you
start
can
now?
add it to your nativity. Maybe it was cold that winter day, and a little snowman came to visit baby Jesus. You never know. But probably not, since they was back into desert times, don't you think? But who knows? Maybe you can pretend. Okay. Now, besides that, there is the problem of beer caps as well. They're everywhere all over the floor.
Right.
Because,
No,
Mr. Claus, he likes to sit in his easy chair like that.
I recycle mine.
Drink his beer. Well, that's good for you.
I recycle my beer caps.
You do. Very good. And pop those things off, and next thing you know, they're all over Mrs. Claus's floor. So what you're going to do also is paint them white, just like you did the peanut.
Yeah.
Now, you say you're supposed to hot glue them, but, I don't really like to use hot glue. So you could just, scotch tape them together, whatever, duct tape, and you can also make yourself another little snowman.
All right.
Pinterest seems to really like the snowman right now. I don't know, that seems to be very big with the young folks.
It's big this time of year.
That looks more
You
like
gotta
a
have snow
ghost than a
first, but,
snowman,
well, we have
I
a little
must
snow.
say. I think your peanut is haunted. I think we
Well-
need to show that to the camera. I think you have got a haunted peanut.
Okay. Well, I'm sorry about that, but you said
Yes,
make a
I
snowman.
think you've got the haunted
And
peanut
two eyes
there,
made out
Craig.
of coal. How does that go?
My. Now, you work on this one and see if you can draw, what's the difference between snowmen and snow women?
Snowball!
Snowballs! So draw them in the shape of snowballs,
Snowballs.
like coal.
Snowman and snow
Very
woman.
good. I
Okay.
knew he'd remember the joke, boys and girls. Jeez. All right. Now, also, Mr. Claus likes his candy. Probably why he's going to eat. No. The one's a face, a body, and the other one is a
There. How's that?
Mr. Craig is having problems over here. Luckily, I have a spare.
There's a snowman.
Oh,
Okay.
Mr. Craig. Okay, we're gonna make a gingerbread house.
How did you get them all
Now,
white?
we can take any kind of box, milk carton, any kind. Mine was supposed to be a mansion, but elves, that good help is hard to find. You put your icing on it, lay your graham crackers on it, and then you can put any kind of candy that you want on it. Now, it doesn't have to be, your regular kind of candy. Why, you could put, oh no, the author is acting up. You could put whipped cream on there if you
Oh,
wanted.
I like that.
Yeah, and let's say, Mr. Claus is constipated, whatever, we just decorate it with some prunes.
Very good.
Yeah, now Mr. Claus, he smokes the corncob pipe. So, we put some candy cigarettes on there. Now, when's the last time you saw a candy cigarette, baby?
It's been a while.
Try one of those.
Okay.
All right.
Got a light?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Here you go. Boop.
Thank you.
There we go. All
Isn't
right.
it supposed to be red on one end?
You can stick pizza on there if you want. I mean, who says
That
it's
actually
got to
is
be
like a
candy?
Pizza. That is pizza.
There you go. You can stick a toy on there if you wanted. Nobody said it's got to be all candy. It can be whatever you want. Have fun with your gingerbread house this year. That's the whole point.
Well-
Leftover Halloween candy, use it.
I'm
Oh,
having a
Craig,
little-
he's
I'm
having so many
I'm
problems
having a
over
little
there.
trouble here with my snowman.
So let's sing them out.
All right.
What would you like to sing, Craig?
How about Jingle Bells?
Jingle bells. We can handle that one. Jingle bells, jingle bells, jingle all the way.
And that concludes this week's show. We will be back next week with more news from Arlington. Meanwhile, be careful, be safe, be well, and be joyous.